Alright, welcome back, everybody, once again for more art. Feeling kind of bleh, but I need a schedule to follow when I don't have a work schedule to go to. Because yeah. Yeah, I need some sort of structure in my life, for sure. I was originally going to do vector art, more on this one, which I've actually gotten the broad strokes done, or on Inkscape. I just don't feel like it today. So we'll do more sketch things, perhaps for more of her design. Later, some of the Spirit Warrior that is kind of like giant necromancy based mechs that come in the Spelljammer setting. But yeah, we're just keeping it light and simple because I'm feeling the seasonal woes that come from this time of year. And also, it feels like every time I open OBS that the eyes ever so slightly gets larger. It's annoying. But yeah, let's see. Let's go light purple. Alright. Now map. God, I'm dropping the ball on all kinds of prep work. I did not actually go to the right layer. Need to be in here, need to be in. That was, yes, the inspiration for doing the hands like that, but I'm thinking what I'm going to do. We'll do the work on this one. Let's see, it was multiply. Where's multiply? There we go. And we're just going. Nope, too big. There you go, we got the right size. Then bring the opacity way down. Perfect. Alright, I think for her, we're actually going to go more sleek design. Torso will be like this, because that's half the waypoint, roughly. I should do that on another layer, shouldn't I? Yeah. I'll do another one. Because I don't know how to selectively turn on and off mirroring for GIMP. It's a bit of a process. So I'm thinking we're going to do... Yeah, I'm on the right layer. Nope, did not go down low enough for that. Go thinner way, so I don't think quite that thin. We'll start with a rotate. Like that. Kinda move over, copy, paste it like that, then just want to flip, there we go. Close enough. Close enough. That looks like a regular size torso for person, which we can then move up a little bit, because I'm thinking there's going to be, in actuality, no neck underneath this. It's just going to be segmented bits. No, because they're insect. They don't need thinner parts connecting all their main body segments. I think that's the best way to describe it. I need to bring the size down even further for this. Because, yeah, we already have, that's the jawline there. Which means there's the actual connecting part. Just kind of like a flush into that. There you go. And then, to help accentuate curves without actually being human feminine, have bits like this, just kind of like the dip up, overlapping plates, which helps kind of like insinuate that these bits are all like curving up in the layers, while also kind of looking like ribs. Getting that little bit of humanity will also very much not human in any way that really fucking matters. do it by just copying this a bit. Another layer, transform vertically. Yep. Here we go. Symmetry will be a lot easier when I eventually bring it to Inkscape. We're not in Inkscape yet. Then actual arms. As much as I'd like to go against the typical convention of skinny enough they look like they break in a strong wind, just give like absolutely beefy arms, I'm not gonna do that. Can go more insect-like. It's just like rounded like that. And to kind of match this scarf, you're just gonna have more thick this fur thing, just kind of like meet in the center. She would have the big meaty paws in there, which I should not actually have in that perspective. Ooh. Do the kind of like outline like that, which actually we'll do on the other layer. Kind of like that. Because we actually don't need that for this moment. What we do need is to get that black back in, so we can more easily tell the different parts a bit apart, I guess. Okay. Then similar to our little reference, we're just going to give nice big spikes. It's going to have like little fluff of fuzz. The actual part comes out. We actually want to make this look even thicker. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have this go into here and then out. There we go. Looks like it's a little curved. That one will be more like that. There we go. Of course, this one's not visible, so it's just gonna be pop, 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 pop. There we go. Big old claws hid inside each other with just hands together, looking very demure, very young, noble lady. But she can rip you to shreds, and that is not a sexual context. I mean, I'm sure some people probably still would, because they see Monster Lady and go, would. But what? Rest the out. Because part of their culture is they aren't really big on clothes. Like, they'll wear it in mixed race colonies, because, you know, people still look at them and go, it's like, damn, that looks like a woman, and sexually harassing. Even if a woman is not a gender that particular subrace recognizes. But for covering, what's something that could be kind of fancy but still easily removed if it gets in the way of combat? Ooh, maybe some form of tabard, if I'm thinking the correct word. Let me get the window up. Tabard. We'll say no. Can open this taller. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking the right type of thing. That's actually good. There's no sleeves. Because meant to be possible wear underneath armor sometimes. Let's just pick. Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do that particular style of tabard at least. This I will go back to this style outfit because it would go over the tabard anyway. Though for the color, let's do yellow. To differentiate them. Oh, no, if I clicked on the correct layer. Okay, so main tabard goes just like this, and perhaps some like opening at the bottom, like a little slit, so there's some on a human easier to maneuver around. Okay, I wish I could more easily do curves. We're gonna do like that. This kind of bend inward out to here where it'll kind of bend like so. And this would kind of just be kind of loose around the neck. Let me make sure I got, that's about where the sleeve would be, so that's fine. And there's another layer which would hang off loosely like this and actually be hanging over a bit like that. Like there. And then part of the design is also 4 different segments for at least very complicated noble houses style. So you can have a mix and piecemeal of each of the what is it? Heraldry. That's it. Heraldry icons, which looks like, at least the version I'm seeing here, is repeated up on the shoulder bits. So we'll go. See, that one's 3 designs for the 4th segment. Okay, we're gonna go similar. Say 1s for that, 2, 3. In the actual design, I'll just use some of the innate ones in Inkscape, because it's supposed to be like a generic NPC type deal. But remembering that I need to have, sorry, throat, have different designs for each segment is important. And then I'll get the other pink thing so I can remember that arm goes in here, which is important. Spiky claws. And those will actually probably be adjusted a little further down, because that gives the appearance of the waist even. The torso is going to end up here. Yeah. Let's see, oh, but with their big form, there is actually a way they can work around that, isn't there? They can have a kind of a belt built in here. Maybe even just like a little belt loop on these bits, so they all stay together. Then in the back, we'll do an orange so it can overlap a little better with all these pieces. And we'll have it actually follow this one and then split here. So we can have a kind of like side slit, the back half to connect up to the back itself. Not perfect, but I think I can remember that easily enough. Though, just in case, I'm gonna just write here. This would have taken less time if I just opened the text thing for it, perhaps. But then that'd be yet another layer, which I have to manage and not try to like draw on like an idiot. I'm gonna leave it like this. Yeah, I hope everyone is having fun. If you're watching this on YouTube and we're perhaps on Twitch the day of Saturday around the same time, I hope you got a chance to see the debuts for the new SOC agency VTubers. Alfina looks fun. Ad-free VT looks very fun and silly. Male VTuber is certainly a look. I only got the beginning of it, but the model looks very original. Very stand out from other VTubers. I'm going to go back and watch the VOD after this stream, because I couldn't just keep myself in the state of just doom scrolling, enjoying other people's content. I had to come and do this. Which is a big reason that I am still, actually doing this today. It's part of my ongoing process of fighting the urge to doom scroll and do fuck all, when I really should be doing fucking something. Okay, we're gonna keep that. Front view for torso. Back the purple. We're gonna make a bit too much blue for that one. There we go. Alright. I hope if I remember to click over to it. Okay. For the bug ass. Oh, no. rather large point, because this is only going to connect here. The actual body itself is going to be fucking... It's a bug with a big ass. For the hilarity of bug with a big ass. Also, I think side view, which we're gonna work on here. We're not gonna go to depth. Just gonna like yeah. That. Also, I just noticed how smooth that. Sorry, I think my mouse sensitivity got messed up by something, but oh well. The actual connection part being like this. So she can like physically move her torso a wider range. There you go. I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna bring that in a little bit. I think that might be a bit large for the look I'm trying to go for. Select the whole thing. Deselect all these. All right, let's get Shift S. Okay. There we go. See, what I'm thinking of this is that it's going to be kind of like a bustle. That's the term for it. Type skirt look, but it's actually going to be just the wings, or at least the hard shell that protects the wings when not in use. And it's not going to be because they can fly. If those of you who've been here for the more in-depth stream where I did the art but still talked about the lore, actual flight in this particular bug centaur-like race is very uncommon. In fact, there is only rumors of a particular smaller version has it, and part of the lore is that even if such a bug insect centaur exists with the ability to fly, they are likely just different enough to not be referred to as part of the same race. Because, fucking the classic racism of one of the good ones, or one of the you're not like them bullshit. Because I'm holding very few punches in regards to that kind of bullshit in lore. Is a very main part of this campaign. Treatment of people who are other, are different, in the eyes of what consider themselves the majority. So I think from here I'm actually going to turn this slightly more. Yeah, a bit smoother, looks a bit nicer. Okay. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is actually something like the, put in here, these type legs for it. I'm still working for a thinner version of these, modified so it also has the fluffy bits like the hands. So let's see, it's out, continue curve, a different segment, okay. Which we are going to do in simple form from here. No, we'll do different dots for those joints. Sorry, different dots, different colors for these joints, make them stand out easier. And then the third joint is actually going to be underneath this kind of like wing protector bit. To also help protect the legs. With that, we can go back to the original pink. So we start with this. This one is just going to be a simpler two-toe bit to give it the look of a more regal, like, foot in a heel. Again, we're going for the kind of disarming, so they look like a small noblewoman type deal, especially with the tabard. actual forms, let's see, I think to continue the kind of like unassuming thing, actually, riding boots. What do women's riding boots? There's a specific style I'm thinking of with how the laces go. I want to mimic that with small jewelry. Maybe they're not riding boots. Okay. Women's knee boots, perhaps. Are they all with... Oh, wait. There we go. There we go. Laces on the back. Okay, yes. So what we're going to do with that, instead of actual laces, we're going to have like metal eyelet looking, not eyelets, metal rings. But also, I think we're also going to have front end extend out a bit, as well as the back, like here. A high-heeled boot design, but then I'm going to use the yellow for this. Because body modification, jewelry, scarification are all big parts of the culture and innate dressing styles of the Zixchill, or what was the other term I had for them? Rastipedes, that's right. Rastipedes or Zixchill. Zixchill is the default, because it's how they refer to themselves. Especially because Rastipede, after some translation, they realize that sounds very similar to insects in the native languages of these people. And they're like, yeah, we don't quite like that. Could you not? And they continue to do so because, you know, colonialism bullshit, as they do. And actually, this one, we're going to have kind of overlap, kind of like two kind of frontal legs. The back ones will be different, like the grasshopper style we had. And we'll keep the knee joint here. Yeah, 6 legs for that same kind of make it more centaur, make it more insect than a horse centaur differentiation, but also different sizes. We can have different things on them, like perhaps this one. Here we go. Maybe this boot style one is slightly different, so instead of having all these glitzy golden ones, maybe they're assortments of beads, who knows? Sort that by having just here, green, like that. Hopefully I remember these little details, because this is the kind of detail I might just forget. Yeah, hopefully those colors stand out enough for me in the future when I come back to this. Spoiler, I'm probably going to forget something or other. Hopefully those colors are different enough that I'll zoom in and go, what was I thinking about that? And remember. Make no promises, though. Okay. Back one. How was the back again? Okay. So back one, we're going to go back to this lighter pink as we're kind of overlapping with this again. Well, actually, what do horse saddlebags look like? I could try and crib some design looks from that. Horse saddlebag. Okay, tend to be a bit more square, a little rectangular on the width instead of the height. Band across. No, the double band looks better actually. Bad, not bad, but I also don't think I can get a good leg design out of that. which is fine. What about a fanny pack? Fanny pack's kind of a strange look. Maybe we can do some adaptation to. Oh yeah, because those are a bit more oblong. Okay, let's undo that drawing. We're instead going to do the kind of straight side here. And the actual design itself could be this, the double strap looking design. Simple to the point it could be that this kind of like does a little wave ripple around it like a zipper. It's not actually a zipper, it's just the pattern on the leg. But it'd look nice. Then we could actually have another body mod here reminiscent of a zipper. That could be funny. But it's a maybe. I think that's good for back leg. And then it was knee, back, forward. Okay. Not a perfect look by any means. I think we can do it by that leg here. These legs, to make it look like they're more backwards, we'll have big. There you go. We'll have two at the back. It's kind of hard to show that with color overlapping like this, but how about two? Sorry, one is too thin. I think that's a way to show it. Better angle will probably show it better, but we're not working on that. This is just the sketch phase. Do that to kinda make this little line stand out a bit different now. I'll work on it. Let's see, back to this side. In fact, I should actually probably have it go more like that before it. Okay. That's something I can fix though. It is absolutely fixable. Let's go to here. Go to that. God, that does this. Okay. Oh, right. Paste it down. There we go. Let's see. Is there a way to make this look stronger? It's like the little teardrop like that doesn't honestly look stronger. What to do? Oh, actually, what we can do is we can kind of like invert the design of these front legs. Have be big like that. Like so. This needs a little curve in. So let's actually make that like that. Yes. How about this leg though? How do I might have to resize that to to still get the kind of proportions for the grasshopper style leaping leg. But that might actually be good enough for now, because we do have the design concept. Both pairs of front legs looking kind of like women with furry shorts and thigh-high boots. The laces replaced by these kind of like rings, just kind of like into the back. Because, you know, they've all got hard chitin. So, chitin? However that's pronounced. The hard exoskeleton, like shell, a lot of insects have. So you can't really, like, tattoo it. It's not like skin. You can paint it, you can stain it. If you want something long-lasting, you drill a hole and post up some fun jewelry bits. Then over on this one, we can go back to the yellow and do a kind of like other view of the tabard. Let's see, so we'll start with the sleeve. So I'd like that. Tabard itself, go out. Actually, no, not that far. I want to go out to here. Because each of these front legs look at a different part of this split. It won't come out quite that low, but for the sake of space, that's just good enough for here. The back segments come out over these wing covering parts. Okay, that way, this design is overall something that could be a rip away, perhaps like in the side, some sort of like weaker stitch or magnets. So it can be taken off front to back when it's time for a fucking combat. Because that's fucking well, no. That's not actually teamwork. But that is how the dream work. It's like, God, what a fucking horrible day. Rip off your shirt from the front. And just set it aside. So yeah, it'd be fun if clothing was like that. Yeah, that's I think that's a good concept thus far. Still needs to work before going to the vector stage, but I think that's enough to work on for now. Mokhtar, I think we've got a good exploration of the legs. Mock colors. Oh, right, that's looking for specific colors. If I actually do that. Ah, yes. Fun apron designs of Swarm the Cook or Kiss the Cook. Because I want one of the NVC default tokens I make for these to have a cooking apron. Seems fun. Like, just imagine a bug centaur in front of a grill, just cooking something. It's like, oh God, what's that? It's like, delicious what it is. A nice smoky flavor. Okay, how about off of the insects for a bit? We kind of get some overlap with Thraken, so yeah, no. Definitely some insect things in the Spirit Warrior, but I'm fine with that because they're more like the actual insects than the simply inspired by. I should actually make that a layer group. Spirit Warriors, just put this in here. That's the reference. But yeah, there are mainly two forms in Spelljammer. One is a more butterfly type one. The other is like this, more emphasis on like the beetle. I'm doing some other things. Expand it out. Oof. I just neck crack. And we're going to start with a simple one. And that is the Hercules beetle. And those of you maybe saw it on the weird non-human gods thing I created. Hercules beetle was one of the inspirations for the jestery mask. Like, mandibles like that. We're going to go for that sort of design. So overall, that should be kind of... let's see, we're going to start with... It's kind of like peachy orange, just the base color, just the general shape. They're just going to be a big round guy. With the mandibles come down like this. We'll have some Oh, that looks weird. There you go. There you go. Forward-facing eyes. Head segment. Bulky wing coverings like this. Actually, no, I shouldn't have them that low. I should have them post kind of open and up like this. So I can also show some wing underneath. Not a usable wing, but kind of gives some more presence to it. Actually, after this, I'll move to another color. I'll go to the yellow, because we're still at the kind of like base thing. But it'll have main torso like this, so we can kind of be bent over. See this front segment should be bigger and thicker. Go, we just do another layer to help darken this up. Because they do still need to be mechs. Mechs used by humanoids for the most part. So the forms will also themselves be humanoid for the most part. The exceptions will be for very specific jobs or reasons, like not necessarily even war reasons. Perhaps it's better for helping plant or bring in the crops, for instance. So 3 like this. Big bulgy knee. That kind of gives it more of an armored feel to it. I'm going to bring a eraser in here. I'm going to undo this. Feels like it was kind of changing the vibe of the piece. Why did that happen? Okay, extend this over the knee some. Make it more like armor. Could give him some little knee spikes. Sorry to get this one here, but it's not like a. It's not like a backwards spike like roosters have, or a spur. That's it. No, not doing a spur-like design on these legs. It's all about forward rushing. This is your fast-moving brute type. It would be a 3-arm design. The way it works is it's got 2 legs, but the 3 arms are rather bulky, but they're made for being able to interlock inside each other. Other one coming around like this, or just more weight at the center of gravity, just slam into a target or grapple, because it's not like, say they try to hack off one arm. They either have to go to this side with only one, which is a predictable weakness that the pilot can cover for, or they have to go to this one with 2, and just the one arm is not gonna guarantee the person is free. See, the actual head itself, I don't quite like the bird like beak design on that, where it's like got a visible difference for like the lip or whatever. Instead, what I'm gonna have it do, top is still gonna be beak-like. The other is just gonna come up here. And And this could be one of two things. It could be like a part of the visor of a knight kind of appearance, or it could look like a really intimidating grin. And being unsure if it's just to look like another piece of armor or intimidation tactic will change how some enemies interact with it. And we've got the glowing core coming out through this eye port, which we're going to specifically keep because it helps keep it necromantic looking. It's like you don't want to see these on the battlefield, not just because they are a threat to their enemies, because there's also something very unnatural looking to them. They're not livestock raised for food. They were raised for this express purpose of making them into weapons. And that is very unnatural. It's like you get things like axes or spears. They have purposes outside of battle. A spear you can just like stick into the ground, tie some rope between spears. You got a place to dry your clothes. You can use it for fishing. It's not really meant for piercing armor. It's not for battle alone. An axe, you can use that to cut down a tree, but a sword is really only meant for killing things. There's not any other alternate purpose you can use a sword for that would not potentially endanger the blade. Knives? Yeah, you can whittle with knives. All kinds of little things you can do with knives that are not solely killing. You can use them to clean a fish before cooking. You can attach it to a stick and make a makeshift spear for fishing. You can whittle things away and make some minor carpentry bits. It's like there are options. But a sword can only be used to kill. That is the horror of the sword. It cannot save lives, it can only take them. That in of itself is unnatural. But you might say, well, what about predators in nature? The big teeth, the sharp claws. It's like, yeah, sure, but you know what else a bear's claws do? They mark its territory, scratch at trees and whatnot. Multiple large carnivores can also dig with their claws. Maybe not super effectively, but they can shape the landscape around them. They're not just for killing. And it's not even just for self-pleasure by just clearing irritation. Thus, it's not a wholly selfish thing either. I need another color for the horns like here. They're kind of getting too muddled here by the arms. I'll bring this red back. Very strange having this segment here go into this kind of like jaw area. But I think that's fine. I think that also helps increase the creep factor of having a pseudo smile here. Let's see, up here though, it's going to come from this, kind of like jolt around like so. Okay, did not do too well from here. But there we go. Yeah, they're supposed to look unnatural. They're not livestock. They are war machines born, bred, and slaughtered before they can be used to their max potential. People should feel a little uncomfortable seeing them. See, this kind of like frill at the back of the neck is supposed to help look like a certain style of infantry helmets. You've got the long nape at the back, so you kind of like huddle in, be less likely to be shot by an arrow in the back if you do not have a shield. Now that makes it look too dinosaur-like. I think doing this, having kind of come from a wider point like that for force, and then here looking thin, like they can just like slice as it rams into something with its head. So it'll just be Lubby Claus. Not to be confused with Santa Claus whatsoever. No relation. Oh yeah, this is shaping up pretty well. It's not perfect yet. By no means. Or get something with a particular insect inspiration, but not looking solely like that. Because it's, you know, it's space. There could be all kinds of strange insect-like patterns that just Earthlings don't know about. That is that. Actually, another purpose for having this big thing is we can also have a designator here. Like military style. Let's see. Can I make something like the simple digital clock? Like this? Yeah, that's not bad. I think having these horizontal ones look longer like that is actually a really good play for it. Let's see, we'll do another one here. Do is another short. So I mean, it's an alien number system. Maybe that is a legitimate thing. Kind of looks like an EU. I'm gonna leave that. It was unplanned, but I'll leave that. I don't know, maybe there's a fucking space Europe with its own space union. Ooh, actually completely unrelated to this. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just do it from here. I'll move it a sec. Machinists, yeah. It sounds like a fun name for a just company to be out there. The UUM. In fact, we are going to leave them as a... not this color red. We'll go... there we go. Bit of a brighter red there. Because that's a naming thing I do not have pre-planned by players. We've gotten suggestions for character races and qualities and little like quirks they have as a character. We have not got any pre-roll things for just organizations and businesses they run into. It's kind of, excuse me, kind of improv I like having to do on the spot for my players, but for the purposes of this, sometimes it's a good way to inspire... wait, I'm on the wrong player. There we go. Let's see, in actuality, this will probably be more like that. Just because that helps give appearance more like some kind of like trained muscle. Also round out of this. Like a very odd shaped triangle. Or an even odder shaped rectangle. There we go, they got the kind of like T-Rex feet design. Perfect for stomping, decent amount of stability. Then, because it's only inspired by Hercules beetles, we're going to have another little tusk come up like this. Because one, again, increased intimidation factor to make this whole thing look kind of just unreal. We're also going to give it like a defined jawline here. And make it a darker color, kind of reminiscent of gums, to help break up that shape more. We also need to turn more of these harsh corners into rounded. That's good. We kind of like come here again, get a more shadow look. We don't want this completely rounded, but having it, because having it kind of mostly corners in some spots like that does make it feel kind of militaristic. At least to me. That might just be me. I could just be a super fucking weirdo. Yeah, we do that. It's not look bad. Then we have like here. Oh, look a bit big. There we go. And direction point being a bit more higher than that makes it more clear that it is facing forward. Is leg perfect? No. Will it ever be perfect? Unlikely. Is it good enough to convey what I'm going for? Hell yes, brother. In actuality, I'll probably make this more oval, just so I got more space for the arms to look bulky. But for now, this is actually pretty good. Let's get back to this orange. Kind of like egg shape him like so. Not there. We need this. There we go. Do. All right. Okay, Hercules Beetle, not too bad from specifically memory. But they're meant to be our the tanky style ones. They hit hard, but they don't move fast. All about that lasting power. Right, next one. I've already done moth tar today, so we're not going to do the moth or butterfly style one. Was the third? Mantis, that's right. Versus mantis, about speed. For the base, for this one, we're going to go brown. What's going to be about is multiple legs. Not because more legs equals more zoom, but for like the mythical horse Sleipnir, who has 8 legs total for faster running. That's the kind of vibe we're trying to go for. Again, they also have these kind of like covers as if they have wings. But no Spirit Guardian flies as you would expect. They can kind of maneuver in the vacuum of space, but true flight eludes them. Can't have everything. The exception, of course, will be the butterfly, not centaur, moth type ones. It'll be about maneuverability and long range fire. They're about being quick and dodging, but if you get up and melee with them, they're kind of dead, because defense is not part of their thing. Meanwhile, we're going to take some inspiration from the actual Centaur issue one I've worked on before. Instead of having normal blades on the inside, blades on the outside like that, so they can rush forward and just kind of like spring the whole thing forward. Just shove that forward, shove that straight as possible, and the blade just does an undercut, just like that. Something different, something untraditional. And for the actual extra power boost, it's 2 sets of limbs. Goes to this little short elbow, helping with the maneuverability. Perhaps more like a. Let's see. We're gonna do it from the side. Show it like this. Oh, but those are too short for that segment too. There we go, there we go. Meanwhile, the actual next segment of the arm itself comes down like this. That is not looking bad. What does look bad is because we started this in a brown, now that I'm noticing. It does really not stand out too much against the body that is also in that brown. Make this hook bigger. There we go. Like you can like catch another limb perfectly. Shing! Just kind of sing on through that. And you heard me right, I said sing on through that. So clean and smooth, that has that nice little metal on metal sliding sound, which sounds oh so impressive. Covers we're going to layer like that. Nope, that wrong. That's just gumming it up again. That's good. Legs are simple, they're spindly, kind of like millipedes. So they're meant for speed, they're not so good for tight corners, but that's fine. It's just going to be a big ol' spike. More of a kind of boot-like design. The way it just kind of like flares up here at the joint. But less human looking because just points. Yeah, I'm digging that. I'm digging. Just like all blades, all the time. Let's get your scout, who's defensive. Rather than singular strong attacks like the big, beefy Hercules beetle had, it's about damage per second of just multiple strikes, matching if not out-hitting the Hercules, at the expense of not much in the way of armor. It's all about surviving by killing the opponent, but faster than they can kill you. Which is perfectly fine. Head-like design, though. Let's see. Mantis heads. Oh, there you go. Kind of like triangular. I think to make this one look eerie, I think to make this one look eerie, we instead are going to go more of a pyramid type design. So first, instead of green, let's get purple on this one. So we've got the full of the body, right? We're going to like echo the speed thing by having come back like this. Kind of like a little fins. The head itself, let's see, will be part of this. Can have this kind of like as a structural support. Kind of like a flower, because there are some mantises which kind of look like flowers, kind of like frilly stuff around it. It's only going to have one singular eye socket. Show it by just doing all this dark purple on it. I think that's the way to do it. It's kind of futuristic with the kind of like smooth curves up here. It's got to be aerodynamic, you know? Even kind of like a mask look at the front here. Yeah, I think that's really good. And then what we'll have is kind of like little antennas. This on the other side for communication modules. But yeah, while the design of the Hercules beetles was round, this one is becoming more triangular. Is what I'm thinking we do. Not even the typical triangle. Like even the build of the body is gonna come be triangular like that. Different niches for different folks. It is looking pretty good on that. It's even getting a little bit, excuse me, stick buggy in the back, which is fine. In fact, I'm gonna rename it. Mantis Stickbug Design, keep track of that. I don't feel like doing the next moth thing yet, so we're not going to do that. The Humboldt still needs, honestly, the Humboldt is ready for the vector stage, it's just the actual doing it, so I guess next are the Dragons, which is kind of a dragon-based centaur. Though I'm going to take it more in the direction of dinosaurs, because the original Dracons don't have anything like a breath attack or what have you. Let's see. Well, actually, wait, I have an idea for the other spirit warriors. I think for the moths. Did they make that invisible? Moth, butterfly. Okay. Just for their basic shape. That's all we're doing for that. Because we've got circle for the beetles. We got triangles for the manti. So I prefer a butterfly type things. No, let's not do it like that. We'll do... Let's see, 5-point... Because then you've got like the head segment, the big wings. So no. Now we won't do 5-point star. How about... I don't want to do Star of David style 6-pointed star. How do I avoid that? Okay, we'll do another layer for the star shape, just so I can kind of go over it. Because what I'm thinking is the center point here. For the star. Excuse me. Oh, wait, I know how to do it. Okay. The way it's going to be... Okay, like this. Then, copy, paste, layer flip. Not quite perfect. Okay, we're going to take... No, not rotate. Damn. Sorry, not scale, I mean. I was going to rotate. The wrong short thing. Okay, there we go. Do this. Put in like that. Just getting a little big, but that's fine. Okay, that last one, come around here and be a lot more shallow. We're still getting the kind of like triangles and triangles thing while still being its own shape. Also not perfect. It's like a diamond. Okay, we'll do that star / diamond shape. And then on the actual butterfly thing, I can fiddle around, resize it. Then we've got the two basic wing shape-ish designs, but also head in equal measure to either. We'll help it be more original. Okay, back to Dragons. Let's see, we're going to start with one of my favorites, the Triceratops. We're not going to do that by just making a lizardy centaur, and then they've got Triceratops head. No. That is some small brain build ideas. Let's see, we're going to name this one Triceratops. So first we get the kind of potato shape of a nice little Triceratops. This elephant-like legs. Yes, I know. The art skill is not great. But that is why we do sketches. So we do not have to worry about great. All we need is good enough. Little toesies. No, we won't have curve up. We'll have it curve down. It's not big movement just yet. Well, and then torso will come out from here. But for the Triceratops, we're going to have sort of be the head is up here, kind of like a frilled skirt-like design. Goes out to here. This is still where the torso is going to come out. Now the frill is not just a protecting the body from the back, but also making it hard to attack from behind and get the head directly as well. Makes them come across a little bit more armored. And we can also have, instead of the horns, we can have little tusks coming out the side. So it's maybe not like that. Oh, longhorn style, that's something we could do. Which will probably be better shown off going to here. And simplifying this downward. I can still just straight up trample you. There we go. It's important to remember that just because something does not eat meat does not mean it will not absolutely fuck you up over territory or assuming you're a threat or what have you. It's one of the reasons I think it's so stupid that they're sort of like drive-through safari zoo type deals where they encourage you to buy some food and feed the animals as you pass them by. It's like, no, you should absolutely not do that. Those are still wild fucking animals. Doesn't matter how often people drive through. And it's worse, they're being taught these big metal boxes have food inside. All you have to do is go up to them. Which is a very dangerous thing for an animal to have. Not just because of the threat of getting loose and keeping said habits, which is also in some areas a threat, but also if someone, decides not to have food or interact with the animals in a dumb fucking way that they do not like, people go, oh, hey, but it's just a herbivore, we're fine. It's like, motherfuckers, a bull will kill you. It's like, hell, there's a bloody sport remembered for it. Bullfighting. And people fucking got killed doing that. It's not because the bulls suddenly developed a taste for flesh, no. It's because you are in their fucking space, their territory, and they do not much like that. Yeah, we're going to do this. And the reason I had that idea for Longhorn is because what if this guy is just absolutely shrimped? Super shrimp build. Got his arms just down here. He's holding his own reins as he's just kind of like rushing forward. Actually, we're going to have spiky elbow because I like spiky elbow. Like that, How rad would that be? He's like, man, going so fast. I'm going for this threat as fast as I can. I need to get a grip on myself. Literally. Oh, wait, no, that's the horn. Did the wrong thing to race. Boom. Kind of have him here. That is gonna be kind of crocodilian dragon faces. That is going to be the threat. Sorry, not the threat. The recurring theme of them. They will absolutely be like that. That's the shadow. It's supposed to look like they got a big toothy smile. I think the size of the brush I'm using, kind of hard for that to read. So come back here once more. There we go. You can give them a little like sizzling of these nostrils. Nostrils that do not show up too well. Fair enough. Do that. There you go. We start over the lip like that. There we go. It's a little thick, but I think it makes them look even more excited, which is absolutely fine. Excited. He's rushing forward or something. When he gets there, oh boy, he's gonna give them what for. Kind of helps make this look like a seat. Ooh, there's an idea actually. What do gamer chair, like what does the cliche gamer chair look like? Got a few designs. Alright, we can use that as inspiration for the kind of war paint look. We'll go purple because that's the first color. the recently used. Opacity down, brush size up. Have purple kind of like come up here. Flare out. Same on this side. We're going to have little lines go across, kind of like the separation of the various cushions you can get. There we go. Then we kind of repeat that down here on the legs as well. Kind of going a bit more cyberpunk too. It's not all the same. Here onto the knee. Boom. Some jagged tiger-like stripes. More knee. Go around like a band, yeah. And who knows, maybe these are actual patterns, and they just happen to be bright colors because fucking alien race. Who's to say? Not me in this moment. I reserve creative choices to be decided in the future when they actually come up in campaign. But for now, these will have to do. Though I like the idea of the actual like upper torso not having it, it's just paint the rest of the body. It seems like a fun direction to take it. You're gonna come down here though and kind of like help. Oh wait, has to needs to be up, size down. Okay. It's a point like that, so if it runs over something and then decides to back up, they're getting the good old jab. We just do point to point around here to simplify it. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Low neck. Bit of a lizard throat, just like this skin dangling bit. There you go. Kind of gives the appearance that they're looking directly at us, which I am here for. I'm digging it. Digging the dino. Dino base for this draconic race. Rhyming all the time, and yes, that is good, good, good. Alright, we'll try one more. Let's see. If there's anyone in the chat who has a random dinosaur name to give me, other than Triceratops, we'll do that. But in case no one is here, I'm going to also look up a a dinosaur randomizer. Go from that. Random. There we go. Random dinosaur generator. Alright, it's one of the long neck ones. It looks to have some kind of armor on the back, the Egyptosaurus. Let's see. Also been found in Niger and around the Giza Governorate, which is Egypt, apparently. If no one speaks up next few seconds, we'll just do that. Copy that name. It's a nice little long neck dinosaur. which is actually one of the ideas I was going to say before I turned it over to potential lurkers in chat. Oh, and there's some that suspect they were not just thick and skin, but also maybe spikes near the base. I think that's the direction we're going to take. Even though this depiction also gives a much thicker base of the neck. Okay. Keep the broad strokes. This one, we'll do green for the base. Go Egyptosaurus. We'll start with the overall shape. We're not going to actually go from where the head would be. There we go. Now that started getting a bit too thick. Alright, we'll do it from here. That's the leg. Gonna erase this little art crime first. There we go. Okay, neck is pretty thick here. We'll have it come down like that. Another big round elephantine feet. This one for some variety, we're gonna have like kind of like they're taking a big steppy. There you go. Keep it kind of thick. Okay. Then we're also going to do spikies like this. Alright, that's about as far as I went down. This is usually a little thinner, but I think that's fine. We're just going to try and there we go. Smooth that over some. Then for the actual torso, we're going to have it end up about here. Big, stocky frame to work with. They're limiting their overall range. It's actually more pose than this. Because, like, yeah, they're doing a big steppy. What does that translate to? What is How about a spear? That looks weird when it's like that. There you go. That sort of spear looks better. Then we can have their pose be hunting. Give them some big, bulky muscles. Boom. Very thick boy. Not the longest arms, but some variety in body types would be perfect. What else do they have? They also kind of have this bend here, like it's a bit more fat. Kind of skin this body up sideways. Like what is this? Like a bull. Like a bull kind of has a bony looking protrusion at the beginning of their torso, hanging underneath their neck. Like that. We're going to give them a partially defined six-pack for funny. And just a little bit. The actual spear will go up there. The head, though. The way torso is, they're probably looking a bit more that direction. That looks weird. That also still looks weird. But I think it's a weird we can correct. Erase the art crimes no one has to know. Got not much in the way of neck. He's got to turn more of his head to make it work. Maybe not that much by appearance. Might be a bit too much turn of the torso. I think we can. There we go. Get one tooth. Pop. Just doing this so the multiply makes it stand out more. Perfect. The actual head should smooth out some. Yeah, hope everyone is well. I'm thinking after this particular drawing, I'm going to go ahead and just call it for today. I'm still feeling kind of bleh, but I did give it my best shot. It's not feeling very creative, but create we did. Progress was still made, despite the effort of just not feeling our 100%. Which is not something I recommend for everyone. But it has been really hard to try and sleep to my intended sleep schedule. Nights where I just stay up long past when I was supposed to, when I'd been planning to go to sleep. And trying to kind of like fight past that exhaustion just a little bit is part of the goal of fixing the sleep schedule. Actually, we need to delete all this because it'd be underneath the arm. Here we go. But yeah, if you have a reason to fight past the desire to not create, then you should absolutely do so. But you should not just do it because you should. Because people think you need to be working all the time to deserve anything. Those people are assholes, and they're just going to keep finding excuses not to respect you for as long as they can. You just need to be aware of that. It's like this. It's like I need a set schedule, something I can hold myself to until I get another job. Because I have lost some days to job hunting that I really shouldn't have. I should have stuck to it and forced myself to get stuff out there, even if I didn't think I was qualified. But I didn't, and it's possible I've missed out on jobs that had very brief windows before they found someone else. There we go. We got all the backsides out here, which are not perfect themselves. Though our purposes, they are good enough. Yeah, we've got this strange crocodilian Aegyptophosaurus. We've gotten a Triceratopy dude. Looks like an absolute speedster. I don't think I did the eye right, actually. I'm going to fix this before I forget. Looks like he's only a single eye, like a Cyclops. Going with that. Another with the blacks outline. So I can see that it is part of the skull. It is not the only part of the skull. Right. The opacity and multiply thing so I don't accidentally start next project here with them on. There we go. So we've got two of our draconic centaurs done. Well, planned out, I should say. We got multiple spirit warriors. We got the very bare minimum of our moth butterfly. We also have ideas for the mantis and the Hercules beetle, basing them on shapes for their archetypes, which is not something I actually had planned before going into today. So we made more progress than expected, for sure. We're going to leave it on this for next time so I don't forget star design for Spirit Warriors. Didn't do any Bionoise of Threat Forward. Didn't do the Humboldt. Raspeeds, that's right. We got body idea for the Mothtar character, and giving them a kind of a tabard type top. As well as the leg designs, taking some inspiration from the grasshopper, which was there. So yeah, all in all, progress was made. Not as much as I'd hoped, not the style that I was planning on for today, but progress is progress in the face of really shitty days. So on that note, let's get over to the BRB screen and find someone to raid into. Alright, let us see who is currently on Twitch. Show me. Oh, misspelled? There you go. Sorry, an E got in there. Because fat fingering the keyboard. Okay, who? Let's see. Let's do that. Ooh, Ghoulie Squad is playing Wander Stars? I'm not familiar with that. 90s anime style game. Oh, you just peeked in there to see what it looks like. Ooh, that is 90s anime style. Yeah, we are raiding over to Ghoulie. She is fun. We're going to see what this game looks like. Maybe it's something I'll add to my rotation. What is it? Alright, raid is working. As always, my wonderful tone readers. Hope you guys are eating enough, drinking enough, getting enough sleep. Take care of your body. Whew. So your body can take care of you. It's going to be with you every day. You might as well treat it with care so you can do some more stuff, right? Yeah, let's see, for next week. Oh, I don't have the full schedule ready. I'm going to work on that a little bit later tonight. But Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a Gartic Phone collab with Braca, with Maddie the Alchemist, with Copper Huntress, with Narissa, and we are just going to make art for the sake of making art. Oh, almost forgot, and Busky. Busky will be joining us for this little art collab too. It's going to be silly. We're going to be doing our best to do our worst. Just get all the shit ideas and drawings out now, you know? Because sometimes, like, you don't feel like doing your best work. So why not do something crappy? You can always edit it later. Just like we did today, right? Yeah. Right out. See you guys later.